Welcome to today's episode of the Game Used Podcast. We are brought to you by Resolution Photo Matching. Anytime you have a game used item you're interested in getting photo matched, send it over to us at email info@resphotomatching.com. We had a exciting weekend this last weekend. We had set a new record in the sport of tennis. Novak Djokovic Australian Open racket sold for $540,000 at SCP auction. So that's a new tennis record for any tennis item. Very exciting there. Also, take a moment to check out our Resolution Photo Matching YouTube channel as well. We just posted our top 5 Super Bowl res matches of all time with the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. So go and check that out as well. And anytime you have a submission for us, just shoot us an email or go to our website, resolutionphotomatching.com. All right, let's get to our guest for today's episode of the Game Used Podcast. A sport we haven't covered too much yet on the podcast. We're excited to dive into it. The sport of international football instead of American football, aka soccer. Today we have a guest who is a super collector of one of the greatest soccer players of all time in Lionel Messi. He was also featured on season 1 of the King of Collectibles, Golden Touch. And we have him here now, Damian Olivera. Damian, thanks for joining us on the show.
Hey, how are you, Sean? Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Yeah, so tell the listeners a little bit more about kind of what you collect. I know it mostly all centers around Messi, right?
Yes. I collect mostly Messi, but I can say I collect a lot of things since I have memory. I think I'm a collector.
Yeah, yeah. So, what led you to Messi, and kind of tell us a little bit more about what you have from Lionel Messi.
Well, I moved to United States like 12, 14 years ago. And at the beginning, it was like very hard for me, adapting to a different culture. I ended up homeless. It was very, very hard for me to start. And I saw that here the collecting culture was so big, and I saw that soccer was growing in that time, but it was very, very early. And for me, soccer was gonna be super big because it's the sport with most followers, with most fans. Messi's story, it was very similar to mine because he moved to Spain when he was like very little, and it was very hard for him, to start. So I felt that connection of not being in, with your own culture, with your family, and the struggle. And I started to collect him, and in that time it was very different. Like 14 years ago, Messi autograph was like 30 or $40. So I started to buy like everything I saw. So I was working during the day and in the night, like trying to find, autograph jerseys. Everything was so like rookies. Everything was so like, for me, it was cheap at the time. And that's how I started to buy. And like after years, I became like the largest collector.
Very cool. Yeah, and so you mentioned that you moved to the United States about 12 or 14 years ago. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Argentina.
Uh-huh. And did you live there throughout your childhood?
Yes. I was there until my early 30s, and then I moved here. But yes, I'm from Argentina, so that connected me to Leo too. And it's like we live soccer in Argentina is we are kicking a ball before we are walking. It's like soccer. It's like it's impregnated everywhere in your culture. Like it's everywhere we go. Soccer, soccer, soccer.
Yeah. And Messi, born in Argentina, from Argentina, so kind of
Mhm.
that was the obvious choice there. That was kind of your national hero.
Yes, and for me, even at that time, it was like it was a little crazy, but I knew that he was gonna be this big. It was like and when I get an idea, I don't stop. So, every I bought my first collection with my last $200. Like I went to one of the donation centers where you can go and buy stuff. I used to go and buy clothes and stuff, and has $200, and I saw this huge collection, and I just bought it. People was like, "That's so crazy!" Like, and then after years, that was worth a lot of money.
So Messi came up through obviously born and raised, I assume, in Argentina. And did he play for any like national teams? Because he didn't play. How much of his
Mm,
time did he spend in Argentina versus, eventually going to Barcelona and playing there?
well, he was very little. He has a growing hormone deficiency. Um, So a lot of the clubs in Argentina weren't giving him much attention because he was very small. So he needed to do this hormone therapy where he has to shot himself in the leg every day since he was like 8, 9. So it was the treatment was also like it has a cost. So a lot of the teams there didn't want to like invest because they didn't think he was gonna be good, but anyone who saw him playing was like, oh my god, this is like uh this is something different, so they finally his dad they go to Spain, and they finally meet one of the recruiters from Barcelona. They meet in a bar, and that's where the story of the I don't know if you heard the story of the napkin,
No,
where
tell it. I haven't heard it.
so they meet. Even this napkin was auctioned, but they meet at a cafe at a coffee store. So this person from Barcelona is like, okay, we really want Leo, we're gonna sign him. So his dad was like, okay, I really don't believe you. You have to sign something here for me now. And they're like, what do you want me to sign? We'll write it in this paper napkin. So they wrote it on the napkin. The Barcelona had a real offer for Messi, and that napkin, like years later, a couple years ago, it was like it was auctioned. Yeah, because that was kind of like the first contract that, yeah.
Yeah, the first contract on the on the back of a napkin. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
he's gone a long way. I think his
Mm-hmm.
more recent contracts probably had a little bit more formal documentation there.
Yeah, he was like 14, if I remember correctly. And that was the
Wow.
first, well, that's where he moved to Spain, his family was still here. And that's part of the correlation I felt when I was starting to collect him, because
Yeah.
all my family was in Argentina, and like being working so much and not be able to be with your family is very it's a lot.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
you mentioned, I think before we started the episode that you've been collecting basically all your life. So, how did it start? And give us. I love hearing the perspective of, I'm sure. I think all the guests we've had on so far are born and raised in the United States. So I'd love to hear the international perspective of
Wow.
collecting, of kind of how you got into
Yes.
it.
Well, I think one of the first things I collected was like coins and stamps.
Mm.
And I really don't know why. It's just call me. I remember my neighbor person next door. She used to collect stamps, and I remember walking in to her house once, and it seemed like such a huge amount of stamps everywhere. And I asked her, and she explained to me, and then I just started to research. I was like 10 years old, and I saw that that was valuable, and I just started to collect. I still have the same stamps, those same stamps. I have them here, somewhere here.
Mhm.
And for me, like I like to collect stuff for the historical value. For like I just like I like to research. I like to also like get ahead. You know.
So it started as coins and stamps, and then at some
Hmm.
point it transitioned to sports and
Yes.
football.
I think my first cars collecting was for the World Cup 1990. So yeah, I was 7, 8 years old. And I bought my first pack because the difference between you asked me the difference between Argentina and United States. For example, in Argentina and in a lot of countries outside United States, we only have stickers. We don't have cards.
Mhm.
So the best product you can get is stickers. So my first stickers were from the World Cup from Italy 1990. And one of what one of the crazy things is like I remember like buying those packs and find the cars, the stickers. And today, like 30 years after that, I work with the players that I was like at that moment, like getting in the packs. And it's like
Mm.
that's just like it's like a full circle.
Yeah, yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I've heard of the stickers. I never really collected stickers. I don't know if
Hmm.
I'm sure they had them here in the United States,
Yeah, yeah.
but they weren't
You,
as popular.
no, no, they are like, and when I started to, well, I always collected stickers, but a few years ago, it was nobody wanted stickers, and I was very sure that is one of the important pieces of collectibles because stickers are so hard to keep like in a good shape. So if you have like a sticker that is graded in a 10, like it's like wow, that's and in the last years the stickers got like the price of stickers got increased a lot.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. And you mentioned that you work with players a little bit now. Is that
Yeah.
something you can talk about a little bit what you're doing these days?
Oh yeah, yes. For example, well, one of the players that from that the first my first stickers was Canigia, that he was Maradona's best friend. The teammates they play World Cups together, and I'm working with him right now. Like yes, 2 weeks ago, he gave me the jersey um, from the last final that Maradona ever played with Argentina. And he scored in that match, and that was the last big trophy that Maradona won with Argentina. So he gave me that jersey that I want a photo match with you guys.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll get it going through resolution and yeah,
Hmm.
hopefully we can get a res match for it.
I
But
have it right here.
yeah, yeah, show us what you got there. Very cool.
Yeah.
And so what year would that be?
This is 1993.
93. Okay.
Yes. Yes,
Uh-huh.
93. And he
Very cool.
scored that night. And that was the last trophy that Maradona ever won with Argentina. It's called the Finalissima. Is when you have the national team from the whole American continent. Like in that time, the Copa America champion was Argentina versus the European champion. So that's called the Finalissima, and that was the last trophy that Maradona won with Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely at resolution here we have a special spot for Maradona because that's
Mm.
we res matched a few years back the Hand of God jersey,
Oh my God!
which
Yes.
set the record of all soccer items, and so that was an
Mhm.
awesome one for us. So we love anytime a Maradona jersey comes through, we always get
Yes.
excited. So,
Yes.
but that's very cool. So back to, growing up there in Argentina. And so at what point, you talked about you got into stickers. And then was
Yeah.
it more in more recent years that you started collecting some game used, or was it back then in Argentina or
Yes, in Argentina, I was able to get some game use. Again, it was very different. There's like a different culture of collecting right now.
okay.
Like lately, and because I've been bringing stuff there, like there is now more collecting and much more. Um, but it wasn't a thing. But yes, I was always trying to, go like to the games and trying to get some, yes, yes. But like in the last years since being here, for me, it has been easier. And working with the
Yeah.
players, it makes it like easier too,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I was curious about that. You mentioned how obviously the culture is different, and I think I assume that collecting game use started in the United States, and
Mm,
uh, for me, but it's really was always an online thing. I know when I started,
hmm
it was we had what was called Game Use Forum, and
Yes.
uh, and eBay. So it was even when I was doing it, it was something that was accessible to, you know,
hmm
anyone on the internet. And so is that kind of how you got into it too? Or was it more you were going to, you mentioned coins and stamps. Were you going to shops or, at what point did the internet become involved for you?
I I s- I was more always going directly to a source. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was started to go. I'm the person who goes and knocks the door. Like that's how I actually met one of the first players, Ronaldinho. I saw he was gonna be in Dubai. I got a ticket. I went there. I figured out where he was, and I know he's directly the hotel. And that's we met there, and we started to hang out. Like it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That's cool.
that's how I did it with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always wanted to see it like where it comes from. For me, it's like the source, like there's like, uh, but it's I got some stuff online and stuff, but like I like to go directly to a source. It's just it got a little harder right now because the players know right now how like the cost of their jerseys and stuff. A few
Right.
years ago, they didn't know, you
Yeah.
know and I didn't tell but they know now.
They figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's soccer especially. It seems like oftentimes guys are switching jerseys at the half even,
Oh
wearing multiple
yes.
jerseys per game. And that goes
Yes.
for, NBA basketball too
Mhm.
and multiple different sports. But yeah, no, it's I think the players get it now. The
Yes.
the comparison I always bring it back to is, and I don't know all the details of the story, but back in baseball, Mike Trout, one of the best baseball players,
Mhm.
he actually had it written into his contract that he got to keep his memorabilia,
Mhm.
keep his jerseys and bats because he knew the value of them.
Mhm.
Um, and that was a few years back, but yeah, the players are definitely they get it at this
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even there's a big difference in like talking about cultures, even like the players and the games, and it's so much different. Like once you get out of the United States, like it's like you have to deal, with families and friends, and this player gave it to his friend, and it's like, like I feel like here in United States, like it's you have contracts, you can add it into the contract and stuff. Like it's so like from my point of view more organized that in other countries you have to get in the culture, know the person, like it's kind of like a it's a,
Mhm. Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of
no, it's
work behind
but
it.
that gives you the opportunity, that's
Yeah.
yeah, you can meet those people and that's half the fun of it too is I'm sure for
Oh
you,
yeah.
you know, I wish I had met more athletes than I have. We're doing a lot of work
Hmm.
on behalf of collectors, on behalf of auction houses, and we've even worked for some agents of players. But
Hmm.
all of our work is remote. We just have
Yeah.
submissions come through, so we're not shaking hands with athletes as much as I'd love to.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah, you've met a lot of those people in person.
yeah, for me, I think I get along with a lot of them because I'm more direct. I'm like I'm working. I'm like when I meet them, it's not like oh my god. I'm like okay, what can we do? Like I'm here for work. Like the jersey, the one from the Netflix show, the one from King of Collectibles. That the how do I got that jersey is like it's a very cool story. I got it from a player too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So let me talk about that a little bit. And I
yeah,
love, it's funny. This is how we first kind of got connected because
yes,
uh Golden Touch, I'm sure a lot of our listeners watched that on Netflix. They just came out with season 3. But going back to season 1, you were on the show, and
yeah.
I don't know if you know this part. I'll tell you my perspective on it. Because we res matched the jersey that you
Hmm.
were going to be featured with on the show. You were consigning with Golden, and it was Messi's 500th career goal
Yes.
jersey. And yeah, I don't think you know this part where we actually were going to potentially be on the show as well in
Mhm.
regards to this jersey. And so I got flown out by the production team for Golden Touch, and they flew me out from Seattle over to New Jersey where Golden Auctions headquarters
Mhm.
is. And I actually did a day of shooting, maybe even 2 days of shooting, where I was doing some scenes with Dave Ammerman and a couple other kind of internal people there, and talking about how we made the res match and the characteristics we looked at and all those things. And so I was excited too. I was going to make my Netflix
Mm.
debut, and unfortunately, the show comes out probably about 6 or 8 months later. This was probably a while after we'd done the recording of it, and didn't make the cut. It turned
Oh, I
out,
didn't know.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, at least I got a paid for trip by the production team to go out to Golden and see them all. But I think they ended up not using any outside authenticators in the show, like throughout the show, I think.
Mm.
And so I
Maybe.
guess that was a
Yeah.
decision they made. And I know, I talked to Ken a little bit about it a while later, and he said, 60 or
Yeah.
70% of everything they just recorded so much stuff that they just didn't
Oh,
use
yes.
a lot of it.
Yes, when I
Um,
did it too, we filmed for
yeah,
like hours and then the final is very
went to like
short.
5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, talk a little bit about your experience because you were actually on it. You made the final cut, and it was at a stadium, right?
Yes, it was a stadium. It was at the Rebel Stadium, so like in New Jersey. Yeah, we were filming. It was fun. Then the what the final cut is very short. Yeah, I remember it was
Yeah,
like it was very. We did it for hours. But that was kind of like the end of the story of that jersey. That was like well, okay, we auctioned it, we sold it. It was great. I didn't want to auction it, but like
yeah.
it was part of it. Like I
Ken
cannot
can
keep
be
everything.
convincing. Yeah,
Yes, but I was searching for that jersey for years. Like for years, it was because it wasn't only his 500 goal, it was like the picture after it, that picture became like viral, one of the most known pictures about him. And it was like the whole, I love the sport, but I love the stories of people, and that was a super important match for him. So finding that jersey was like, I was on a mission, and I was looking at it for years. One day I was in Madrid. I was signing with other players. I was tired. It was late, and I could. I get a call from a player from Real Madrid player. He asked me not to say his name. Um, so he invited me to go for dinner to his house, and I was so tired. But I was like, okay, I'm just going. So I was having dinner, and we started to have some drinks and stuff. Um, and he collects too, but he collects Michael Jordan stuff, and so he wanted one Michael Jordan stuff of mine that I had. And I no, I don't want his, I didn't want to sell it or such. And he's like, "Do you know what jersey I have?" I was like, I don't know. Remember Messi 500? And I was like, no. It's like, yes, I have it here. I have it here. I actually like exchanged it with him in the match, but I did it without people knowing because they lost that game. It's like Real Madrid against Barcelona. I didn't want people to know that I was excited to go and get his jersey because I played for Real Madrid and for Barcelona. And so we go and he had it like in his garage, and I see a jersey and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And it was kind of a trade that I did with him. Yeah, for some Michael Jordan stuff. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then
Sounds
he
like you
saw
got
it.
a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, then he saw the show and he was not happy. But so I was like, hey,
Trade's a
that's
trade.
what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
And
trace.
he obviously he knew what it was. I mean, he got it
Yeah.
right there from the
Uh,
match. So yeah.
yeah, but it was fun. It happened. Yeah, there
Yeah. Huh.
is
Yeah,
fun.
that's cool. So how, I mean, like what is your secret, if you're willing to share it for the listeners, on connecting with these athletes? Because it seems like, you're going over, you're having dinner with them to facilitate potentially doing a deal. Like, what do you think you're able to do that connects you with them and maybe gets them comfortable with interacting with you? What's your
Y-
secret?
Mm, I think it's like, always keep trying and move forward and keep trying to look for options, like have your eyes open. Like we went to meet one of the player a couple months ago, and I went with my daughter, and it was at a hotel, and not here. It was in Uruguay. Um, and he didn't even know we were going. And my daughter's like, "How are we gonna see it?" I'm like, "Look how many people there's in here." It's like, "Don't worry. You always have to just relax and go. If you go behind, the line with all the people that is all crazy with the signs, they are gonna keep you there. You're not gonna walk. You should walk into the hotel like you are there. So we walked to the hotel. And security's like, "What you guys do?" "Oh, just gonna have a coffee there." "Oh, okay, come in." And we were in.
Yeah.
It's like, I
Yeah.
guess, like just have fun. Be yourself, have fun, and the rest will come. If you are like, oh, like crazy, like trying to get, like, they are not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I like that. Yeah, just
that
play it
always worked
cool.
for me. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Play it cool. Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. And so yeah, going back to recording the show. So obviously
yeah.
you found this jersey and made this trade, and how did it come to be that you decided you wanted to, were willing to sell it, and kind of how you did the recording of the show? How did all of that kind of come to be?
Well, with the jersey, I saw a lot of my collection. I was like, sometimes that's the problem, when you are a collector and it's also your business.
Hmm.
Because if it was for me, I want to keep everything, like every item for me is like different. Like that's something I wasn't planning when I started this, because I go and sign, I don't know, like 200, 300, 500 things with Ronaldinho, and I know every single item that he cited, and and I care for every single item. So then like kind of like letting all that go is very hard for me. But it's also a business. This is my life. So I was like, okay, I have to let this one go, and my idea was eventually to meet Messi and get more stuff, and work with other players. So it worked, when Ken offered me to be in the show, and I was, oh, it's a good idea. It was fun. Um, when I was waiting for the show to come out, I met Leo. Yes, he invited me to his house. That was super fun too. It was very cool. It was very cool.
Yeah. So tell that story. You finally got to meet Messi, and
Yes.
yeah, I mean this has been your guy. You've been collecting him for all these years, and you've been following his career going back to Argentina. Tell the story of meeting him and what that was like.
Well, the first I got to meet his dad and his brother. I was in Barcelona and I was working, and they already knew because I was in the news a couple times. So I got a message from a friend. It's like that knows them, and it's like, look, Jorge, Leo's dad wants to meet you. Like, okay. So I go to a restaurant, I meet them, and before I get there, it's like, look, they are very busy, so it's probably gonna be 5 minutes. And so I got there and it was like his brother, his dad was there, one of his managers. I brought uh, cars to open, and I always try to bring stuff to make it fun. And those like 5 minutes, we ended up like talking for 3 hours, and we're like
Mm,
opening cards, and it's like amazing to see like their faces, like Leo's that face, like opening, it's like, oh my God, look, he was like 17 at this. So it was very cool to just to be there, and laugh and have fun and see the families, because at the end of the day, yes, they are super famous, but they are my family, like any other family. And so I got to, since that day, I kind of got close with his brother. So we started to talk a lot. And he invited me to go see they have an office in Barcelona with all the trophies. And so I went there and I was like, they have jerseys that are like, oh my God. Like I saw like, and when I was there, like, his brother gets a call and it's Leo and it's like, hey, I want to meet you. Can you be tomorrow in Paris? He was in Paris at the time. Tomorrow at 5 in my house. I was like, yeah, I'm going to. So next day I was 5 p.m. like at his house, and he opens the door. He's like, hi, Damian. How are you? Oh, nice. And we just sat there and drink mate. Mate is an Argentinian drink that is very common for us. We drink it all the time. Um, so we were drinking that and talking, and he knew he read a lot about me. That was very like impressive. It was fun. We were like a couple hours talking. Again, cars. I bring cars, so it's like, and he signed a lot of stuff for me. It was super fun.
yeah, that's so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think a lot of the people listening to the show right now are very jealous. Most people don't get to meet their collecting hero, and
Yeah,
you got to meet him and spend some time with him. So
yeah.
yeah,
And he's
that's
super cool, and like
yeah,
he's also like when he is into he reads about it. Like he knew a lot about it. Yeah, it was
yeah,
pretty cool.
that's very cool. And
Yeah.
you know, you mentioned to me at one point now you're living in Florida, and he obviously plays the last few years has been in Miami. Do you go to many of his games and watch the games there? Or
I watch the games. I don't go to many
yeah,
games. Like,
watch him
yeah,
on TV.
no. But it was fun. Like, yeah, he's 15 minutes from here. Like, when I met him in Paris, that was like 2 years before he came here, and I told him like, you have to go to the United States. You need to go to an MLS. It's gonna be so much different. People is going to absolutely love you in the United States. And he's very particular. He's like, I'm thinking about it. It's like
Yeah,
then he ended up here, but it's like here is so big, and Florida is like everybody just loves him here. Yeah,
yeah. There you go. All the Messi
yeah.
fans need to credit you for recruiting him. All those Florida fans, you recruited him over there. That's awesome.
Yes, I
But
put it in my Twitter. I put it like
yeah,
Messi is gonna be here in 2 years. I was like, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. That's awesome. And I mean, he had to have been the biggest international international football player to come and
Oh
play in the
yeah.
MLS, right?
Oh yes, it's
Yeah.
like he is like he has the most like picture on Instagram of like
Mhm.
everything, not only a
Yeah.
sports. So
Yeah.
he's his image is not only soccer, it's like it goes way more than that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's a really humble person. I met a lot of players, and he's a really he's like different.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And I'm sure that's a big, secret to his success. Obviously amazing, physical genes and
Hmm.
everything like that. But I think any sport, there's so much mental that goes into it, and such
Yeah.
a big key of being great, even at a physical activity like sports, is
Yeah.
between the ears is in your mind, and I'm sure that's a big,
Hmm.
that energy he has. I'm sure that translates. So
Oh yes. Yeah.
yeah, that's very cool. But so these days is Messi still the whole collection? Is that still all around Messi, or now has it
Well,
transitioned to more players?
mostly Messi, but
Yeah.
I do collect a lot of Argentinians, and I'm more into vintage lately.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, like that
Yeah.
jersey I show you, I'm like so happy for that one, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to get more Maradona. Yeah.
So you showed us, yeah, the Maradona 1993. Do you have any other jerseys there you
This
can show us?
this is Canija. That's it's not a Maradona one. It's the Canija
Oh,
that is
okay.
the one who
It was the
scored the goal. Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
Okay. Okay.
I have another one from him too, and this is for Copa America. This is one
Okay.
year before that. Yeah,
Huh? Very
yeah.
cool.
These are like my two uh, my two best ones right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
The two big ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And he was my favorite player when I was little. So for me, it was like, like I told you, I usually, when I meet with the players, I'm very like, and I was like, okay, I have to tell you, you were my favorite player when I was little. So.
So did you grow up playing soccer as well?
Yes, yes, I grew up playing soccer, but Argentina again is very different because everybody plays. So the level of
Mhm.
the competitive level is very different. Yeah. It's very,
Yeah.
very competitive. Very competitive.
What was it, a lot of, playing on the playground, playing in the streets, or did you, yeah,
Everywhere,
what was it like? Yeah.
everywhere. For example, like, well, I grew up in Argentina, very modest, and like if you don't have a ball, like like in class, like we play we grab like a can, and and we play with a can, but it's like it's all day. Like you walk from your house to school, like kicking something. It's
Yeah.
constantly everything. When the national team plays, it's a holiday. People don't work. So for you, like it's like they when I bring people to Argentina, and sometimes Argentina plays in the city, it's like, and like, where's everybody? I was watching the game. Like soccer is, football is, it's just life. It's your
Yeah,
whole life. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I, you know, didn't grow up with it as much, but I'm excited. We've got the World Cup coming up,
Oh.
2026 here, and Seattle's going crazy because we're going to be one of the host cities. So we're going to have a couple World Cup matches here.
Mhm.
Um, as a lifetime soccer person, football person, uh, have you been to the World Cup? Obviously you've watched it. Tell me about
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of your World Cup love.
Yeah, I watch it. I always watch it. I'm I'm very particular with some things. Some things I like to watch it like with my family, for example. Like I'd rather stay like in my house, with like I grew up like watching with my grandpa. My grandpa was 24 hours watching, like open his eyes, soccer. So he took me to my first games and stuff, and he passed like right before like I started to to meet the players and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But my I can say that my maybe my biggest achievement was soccer wise was like play a game at the stadium where now Messi is playing with legends, all the legends from when I grew up and the legends from now. That was this was like 4 years ago, and I sponsored that game. So playing with your favorite players when you were little, when your favorite players when you from now, it was like wow. It was and also since that day, I don't yell at any player in TV anymore. Like once you are in the field with them, you're like, oh my god, this is not as easy as you think it is when you're watching it. It's like
yeah,
wow, yeah.
yeah,
But the experience, like being like in the lockers with the players that and like see how like what they do, and then being in the field with them is hearing the people, like 40,000 people, like it's like wow. It's that I have to say that one I enjoy a lot. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's awesome. Another one, getting to
Mhm.
play with your childhood heroes like that. So you said
Yeah.
you helped uh, be a part of the group that put on that game.
I sponsor the whole game.
Yeah. How did that come
Yes.
to be?
Well, that come. I was like, the collecting was going really big, and I was with the players, and I was Inter Miami here, and I was doing something with Ronaldinho, and Inter Miami was exactly when Messi like was leaving Barcelona. So Beckham wanted to bring Messi here, and Messi ended up going to Paris, and we were organizing a Legends game. So I organized it with Inter Miami, and that was the beautiful game. So I sponsor and I started to bring players. Um, and we did the game. It was a big investment, but it was really good. The difference was like when I was like doing you asked me for a buy. I have an idea, and I do it, and this is I was sponsoring that game, like we have the brand here, the brand everywhere, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I would don't care, I'll do the investment, I'll do it, but I want to play.
Yeah,
And I remember I was with people from Inter Miami, I was like the president was there, like it's like I was like, what do you mean play? Nobody, like none sponsor has ever to play. Like I don't care. I want to play. Like if I if I'm gonna put that much money in, like I need to play. and they thought I was crazy. I never played.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
that's,
fun.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good ask, yeah, and that goes back to
Yeah,
what you
and
were
they were
talking
like, "But"
about, having fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I wanna have fun. And they were like, "But, like, you don't wanna do it?" Like, if you no, I wanna play. If I'm playing, yes, I do the whole thing, but, like but
that's
it's like,
awesome.
that's the
Yeah.
idea, to have
No,
fun.
that's,
Yeah.
I love that attitude of having fun with it, and obviously, I'm sure you've, had a ton of success on the business side to get to where you're at now, but, not forgetting to have fun with it. I
Mhm.
think that's an awesome lesson.
Yes. I think, we are used to, like, just not having that much fun anymore, and there is so much fun to do, like, with this, with, like, it's fun. I like.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, yeah, as far as what you're doing these days, obviously you're doing different events and things like that. Um, are you doing like a lot of traveling for what you're doing, or just talk a little bit more about kind of what you're doing and kind of maybe if travel plays into it much?
Well, I'm constantly traveling. Like
Yeah,
I in the last years I've been figuring out a lot of stuff and I had fun, And I think with, all these new changes that are happening with AI and everything that's going on in the world, I do think that content is kind of like the thing, So I've been like traveling a lot and trying to find jerseys. I go to like different places in Argentina. I go from markets to old stadiums. I've been going to like towns, old towns, and talking to people and asking people, and I've been finding relics, and so I've been filming all that, and I've been putting together something that I want to start doing that. And now I'm gonna get in the road again. I started to drive in the United States. I bought transit, and I like redesigned it to like the whole like van to be able to travel. So like I'm gonna be like on the road and visiting different towns and trying to find more things to collect.
yeah. That sounds awesome. And don't if there's anything you don't want to share, feel free. But I gotta
Oh,
ask a little bit more on that.
yeah, you
Where are
can
you
ask it.
going? Are you going to, like, different soccer stadiums, or, like, what's the goal of the tour? Where are you going?
Well, last year I already did from Miami to San Francisco 3 times. I like to go to different routes and stop like in different towns. And I'm not only looking for like soccer stuff. I like to find different historical stuff. I do believe that, for example, everything that is dinosaur bones collecting is gonna be like a thing. So I've been doing that too. And I just like to go to town. And what I do too is I usually bring a couple of the jerseys or the historical soccer items that I have, and I do visit different soccer related places. And people enjoy it. They like to see the jerseys, take pictures with the jerseys. We talk about soccer, and I like to meet people, kids. The kids get so like every time they see something messy, they are like, "Oh my god!" So
Mhm.
I like that. I
That's
bring
awesome, yeah.
packs. We open cars. Like, yeah.
And so are you doing this online? Where can people watch it?
I do it in my Instagram usually. People
Yeah.
follow my
And
Instagram, Damian Rodrigo,
uh-huh,
and
Damian
yeah,
Rodrigo on Instagram.
yes,
Okay.
yes. It's real. My a lot of my work is like people that they should like know me and and they buy directly from me. we meet somewhere, I have people that come from other countries. They should come and buy this my stuff, and yeah, that's how I work.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
I try to keep it like again, like there was so many years that I was working so much that the fun was so I try to keep it, like balance to have fun and be able to, to have a good life.
yeah. Yeah. And so you said it's a van. It's what type of van are you doing?
Transit.
Okay. And
Mhm.
what's that like? What's the experience, in the smaller space like that? And what's it like?
I personally love it. Like it's not the first time I do. I've been doing it for years, and um, I love because I love to go to different towns, and meet people. But I design it like my van has like everything. I have the bed, I have a shower, like a fridge, TV, a Starlink. So I've I put one of those powered units, the new ones. I can have
Yeah.
like the electricity like for a week, and I don't need to do anything. So it's like, and I bring with me, like jerseys, packs. So I like to, be in the nature and work and all
That's
that.
awesome.
I film, because I do
Yeah.
think that content is absolutely everything today.
Yeah. Yeah.
From
No,
the
that's super cool.
setting the van to like collect to like meeting people is
Yeah. No, very cool. Yeah, no, I haven't done as much in recent years, but yeah, I love a good road trip as well. I've done a couple from Seattle down to Arizona a couple of times,
oh
and down the down the Pacific Coast a couple of times, down Oregon,
oh
California. I
that
don't know
one's
if you've
cool one.
yeah, have
Yeah,
you done the
I
Pacific
did it.
Coast Highway?
Yes, it's like you
Yeah.
have these huge trees. It's like
Yeah,
it's
the
very cool.
redwoods
I love it.
there. That was so
Yes.
cool.
And
Yeah.
now
And
they
a
open
lot.
it, and again, there was one that was closed, and they reopened it. Like,
Oh, really? Huh.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been a little while for me, but yeah, getting to connect with nature like that and see
Oh,
some of
I love
those,
it.
yeah,
I've been
amazing
getting ready. Two
things
more
we have
days.
here.
I'm getting the road again.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Mm.
And then I've got to ask again about you mentioned dinosaur bones. You think that's the
Uh-huh.
next kind of big thing you're excited about?
I think is
Why dinosaur bones and how did you get into that?
well. I think a lot of the collecting business is also nostalgia. And
That's going back a
mm,
long way. That's a distant past nostalgia there, going back
yes,
to
well, if you
BC.
like, a lot of people my age also grew up with, Jurassic Park
Yeah.
things and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I feel that I've been meeting people that has been starting to collect, and a lot of collectors when they start with something that they like, they start quiet. So I'm not the only one. I think it's a thing that is coming. It is scarcity. I can never say that word. So that's what I think is gonna be
Yeah.
a thing.
That's cool. Yeah, the person that jumps out at me that I've heard of collecting dinosaur bones is Nicolas Cage. He's always
Oh, really?
the actor. Yeah, he collects them.
Yeah. I
And
didn't know that one.
yeah. Yeah, but he's known to be a real kind of eccentric type guy, kind of doing all sorts
Yes.
of crazy stuff, but
Mhm.
I could see it.
That
I
one I
mean,
didn't hear that one.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
he's as far as like a celebrity collector of
Yes.
dinosaur bones. That's the one I've heard of, but
Yes. I think
yeah.
Alexis Ohanian too. I
Okay.
think he wrote that he's also collecting. All right. I think I saw in one of his tweets
Yeah.
or X.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's no denying that they're cool. I mean, as far as this gigantic animal from however many tens of thousands or whatever years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, so have you gotten
I do
anything?
have
Do
a
you have
few.
any?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but could you leave me the? Toot, the dinosaur. I show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of okay. This one.
Oh, very cool. So is that tooth?
This is massive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this
Wow.
is another one.
Huh.
It's pretty
That's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. That'll be we'll keep an eye out on that. Probably in 10 years, that's gonna be the next thing
mm,
that the Golden is
yeah. You're not gonna be
covering
able
at
to
auction.
photo match it, but like maybe.
Yeah, the photos might be a little out of focus on those ones.
Yes.
Going back that far, but
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yes.
that would be out of our area of expertise. I'm sure they
Yeah.
have carbon dating and all that stuff
There you
for those
go.
things.
That can
Yeah,
work.
yeah. But yeah, no, that's really cool. But
Yeah, that's true.
is there, besides, I guess, kind of go for full circle on the
Mm-hmm.
collecting, whether it be dinosaur bones or Messi or anything else, is there any pieces that you're like on the hunt for that you don't have right
Mm.
now that you're really looking to find?
Yeah, Maradona. I'm still. Yeah, I do believe in Argentina. There is more stuff in Italy. So
Yeah,
those are like that's where I have my eyes on.
yeah, very cool. Well, anything else that you want to plug or you want to talk about or anything while you're on the show here?
I had a lot of fun. You can call
Yeah.
me anytime.
Yeah. No, this was awesome. We went all sorts of directions here that
Yes.
yeah, you know, we're gonna have to keep talking, whether it
Yeah.
be on air or off air, but what an
Whenever
interesting
you
life.
want.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's
Where are
super
you?
cool.
Maybe
Well,
I should visit you
yeah, come on
when I'm on
over.
the road.
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
so
You're in Seattle. Yeah, you told me you're in
so
Seattle.
if you make
Yeah.
it, a little bit further north, if you make it all the way to the
We've been
northwest,
wanting to go
love to
there,
meet.
like
Yeah.
Washington up there. Like I've been wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of known for our nature here. We have,
Mm-hmm.
a ton of mountains and lakes and forests, and
Yeah.
so yeah, we have a lot of that. So, but but yeah, awesome to talk to you today. Thank you for being
Yeah.
a guest on the show.
Thank you. Leave comment. Whenever you need, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, thanks to everyone who watched and listened today to the Game Use podcast. We'll keep coming out with episodes continuing on Thursdays going forward. And thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time.